Let me say something that might sting a little, but you need to hear it. You're not underpaid because the market is saturated. You're not underpaid because people can't afford you. You're underpaid because of how you're showing up. And before you click off, I'm not saying that to blame you. I'm saying that because if you can see it, you can actually change it. Because right now, you're overgiving, you're over-explaining, you're over-delivering, and then wondering why your bank account doesn't reflect your effort. So here's the real question. What if your money problem isn't a money problem at all? What if it's the way your energy, identity, and presence are being perceived? In this video, I'm going to break down why you keep overgiving your energy for free and how your aura is structuring your financial reality and the exact shift you need to make if you want to start being respected, valued, and paid properly. Because this isn't about working harder. It's about becoming someone who no longer leaks their worth. Before we go any deeper, if this is already hitting something in you, make sure you hit subscribe and tap the notification bell, because this channel isn't here to coddle you. It's here to call you into your power, your standards, and your truth, especially in areas where you've been shrinking, overgiving, or playing small. And if you're ready to actually shift this, drop a fire emoji in the comments so I know you're here for it. All right, let's talk about what's really going on, because most people think they have a boundary problem, but that's not actually the root of it. Let's be honest for a second. You don't just accidentally overgive. You don't just randomly say yes when you mean no. You don't just magically end up undercharging. The pattern is coming from somewhere. And for most people watching this, it's coming from who you believe you are. You've built an identity around being the reliable one, the helpful one, the easy one, the one who doesn't make things awkward. And on the surface, that looks like a good thing. But underneath it, that identity is costing you time, energy, money, and self-respect. Because when you show up as, I don't want to be difficult, I don't want to upset anyone, I'll just do a bit extra. What people actually experience is she'll do more than what she's paid for. She won't push back. Her boundaries are flexible. And here's the part most people don't want to admit. People don't respond to what you say. They respond to what you consistently allow. So no, this isn't just about boundaries. This is about the identity you've been rehearsing for years. And this is exactly where Energy Body 7 comes in, because this isn't just behavioral. This is energetic. Your aura is not just some abstract spiritual concept. It is your broadcast system and your blueprint at the same time. It tells people how to treat you, what you're available for, what you tolerate, and what level you're operating at before you even open your mouth. So if your aura is carrying, I hope they like me, I don't want to charge too much, I'll just give a bit extra to prove myself, then guess what your life gets structured around? People who expect more and pay less. Situations where you feel undervalued. Clients who question your worth, not because you're unlucky, but because you're architecting that reality. And I know that can feel confronting, but it's also powerful, because if you've built it this way, you can rebuild it differently. So let's get really clear. How do you actually know if this is happening for you? Because a lot of people will listen to what I've just said and think, yeah, that makes sense, but they won't actually see themselves in it. So I'm going to call this out directly. If you recognize yourself in even a few of these, this is exactly what's been shaping your reality. You soften your price the second you say it out loud. You add things in that were never agreed just to be nice. You over-explain your value instead of holding it. You feel uncomfortable when someone questions your pricing, so you justify it, discount it, or backtrack. You say things like, I just want to make sure they're happy. I don't want them to feel like I'm just in it for the money. It's fine. It's not a big deal, even when it is. And here's the one that hits the deepest. You shrink slightly when it's time to be fully seen. Not massively, just enough that you stay safe, light, and unchallenged. That's the one most people miss, because this isn't just about money. This is about your relationship with visibility. And I'm going to say this straight. You can't build a life where you are respected, paid well, and fully expressed while still needing to be liked more than you need to be respected. So this is where everything has to shift. Not your strategy, not your pricing spreadsheet, your identity. 2026 is a universal year one, which means whether you like it or not, you're being asked to start again. Not from scratch, but from truth. This is the year where the old version of you stops working. The one who over accommodates, over gives, overthinks, and undercharges. That version cannot carry you into what you say you want. So the real question becomes, who are you now? Not who you've been, not who people expect you to be, but who are you willing to stand in consistently? Because here's what most people get wrong. They try to set boundaries without changing their identity. So they say, I'm going to charge more. I'm going to say no. But energetically, they're still the same person, still seeking approval, still softening their presence, still hoping it lands well. And that's why it doesn't stick. Boundaries don't work when they're layered on top of an identity that contradicts them. This is about becoming someone who expects respect, holds their value, and doesn't negotiate themselves down to be accepted. Not in theory, in how you show up every single time. So let's make this practical, because I know some of you are thinking, okay, but what do I actually do differently? This is where we stop talking and start moving differently. First, decide who you are now, not based on proof, not based on validation, but based on what you're no longer available for. I am someone who is paid for my energy. I am someone who is respected without over-explaining. I am someone who does not over-deliver to feel worthy. Pick whichever one suits you or make your own up. And then you act accordingly. Second, stop managing how you're perceived. This one's uncomfortable, because a lot of your behavior right now isn't actually about service. It's about controlling how people feel about you. Let that go. Not everyone will like the new version of you, and that's good. They weren't aligned with where you're going anyway. Third, hold your position. Say your price and stop talking. Set your boundary and stop justifying. Let the silence do what it needs to do. Because the moment you rush in to fill that silence, you collapse your own authority. Fourth, let people adjust. Don't adjust yourself. This is where most people fold. They set a boundary, feel the discomfort, and then go right back to the old pattern. No. You've got to hold it. Let people recalibrate to you, because your life doesn't change when you try something once. It changes when you become someone who no longer goes back. And this is where we close this out properly, because this isn't just about understanding this. It's about actually doing something with it. So I want you to sit with this for a second and be honest with yourself. Where are you still showing up as the version of you who overgives, undercharges, and shrinks to stay comfortable? Where are you still building a life that reflects who you used to be instead of who you're becoming? Because this is the truth. Your reality is not behind you. It's responding to you. And if you keep showing up the same way, you will keep getting the same results. But the moment you decide, this is who I am now, and you hold that, everything starts to reorganize. Your clients, your money, your opportunities, your standards, all of it. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, yeah, I can see exactly where I'm doing this, but I don't know how to actually change it, that's exactly what I'm going to help you do over this month. But if you want one-to-one help, you can go to the description box below and click on the link for one of the free one-to-one sessions, where your current identity is leaking your energy, why your boundaries aren't holding, and how to rebuild your self-concept so this shift actually sticks. This isn't surface level advice. This is deep identity work that changes how you show up and what you receive as a result. So if you're ready to stop overgiving, stop undercharging, and actually start being met at your level, go ahead and book your 30-minute free session. And if this has landed for you, make sure you hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, and give this video a like, and drop what came up for you in the comments. Because the version of you you're stepping into, she doesn't negotiate her worth. So I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.